Welcome on stage our first speaker, Shonali Burke. Shonali. This is wow, come on up, buddy. Just briefly, before Shonali starts, this is the tragic story of Web 4.0. And Shonali is a non-geek who encourages all other non-geeks to be brave and say exactly what they think. No one cares anyway. And she also writes a great blog called Waxing Unlyrical.
To the future! So, with the tragic story of Web 4.0, we are going to go very quickly through how far the web has come once my slides actually come up. We're going to go through how far the web has come, which is quite a long way. I'm going to give you some really fun, non-geeky predictions about the future. We'll look to see how some other predictions have turned out, and then talk about what is really exciting about the future and Web 4.0 for me, which is humanity. So before we get to all of that, we've really got to think of, well, what is Web 4.0 and where have we been before this? We know that it started off way back when we were at the desktop phase, and why are my slides not moving? We started, yeah, see, this is why they put me up here first, so that I could be the comic relief for everybody else who's going to come. So we started off with there you go. In the PC era, we went from 1.0 HTML, 2.0 to the interwebs, 3.0 social networking, semantic web, and now we're starting to talk about 4.0. So what is that 4.0? Well, a lot of people have made predictions, and someone called it where technology and human become one. Think about that for a minute, where technology, completely non-human, and human, non-techs, become one. That is pretty interesting, and some people have taken that further. Jeff Moriarty, when he was still with Intel back in 2006, called it when all information will converge into a great ball of benevolent, self-aware light. Wow! So what will this light bring to us? In the future, islands will mysteriously disappear and reappear where we least expect them. But that's okay, because they'll use Facebook Places and other such devices to tell us where they are, so no one will be lost. In the future, we are all going to be outsourced. Now, I know that's already happening, but I mean all of you blogger people. You're going to be outsourced too, so you had better start learning how to speak Hindi. And just being able to say namaste is not going to do. In the future, public relations are going to be ruled by flash mobs. The difference is that now they will be created and enacted by their avatars in Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, Second Life, and anything else that's coming down the road. In the future, we'll watch shows with titles like, How I Tweeted Your Mother. But it will not be a lot of fun watching a bunch of Androids and Blackberries getting it on now, will it? What else are we going to see in the future? Well, credit card fraud will be down because credit cards won't let themselves be used to make purchases they don't like. Great! But a lot of women will be wondering why exactly they have all of these new World of Warcraft accounts. What else are we going to see in the future? Well, we'll finally know who the Mona Lisa was smiling at or why she was smiling, because our balls of light will connect with her ball of light, and there will be no more unsolved mysteries. Too bad John Walsh is going to be out of a job. In the future, Wikipedia will become our common primary care physician, which is actually not such a stretch if you think of it. It's already our encyclopedia. Great news for us, because we'll save money on copays. Not such good news for doctors and insurance companies. In the future, we will all seriously consider going bald, and Jeff is already ahead of us on that, because we know that hair doesn't conduct electricity and energy well. So, you know those bumps that some of us have on our heads? Now would be a really good time to get them removed. I have to thank Jill Foster over there for pointing me to Ray Kurzweil and The Age of Spiritual Machines, a really fascinating book. And whatever you think about Ray personally, what's interesting about him is his focus on how technology impacts humanity. And that really is the key for me, humanity. Because of that humanity, we don't always know how predictions will turn out. Sure, a baby will always be cute, but how have some other predictions through history turned out? Well, back in 1876, President Rutherford Hayes said, once he was given a demonstration of the telephone, "It's a great invention, but who would want to use it anyway?" How many of you are tweeting right now? Yeah, that's what I thought. And then in 1966, Time magazine wrote on e-commerce, Remote shopping, while entirely feasible, will flop. I bet Amazon and eBay are laughing all the way to the bank on that one. I took the title of this presentation from a poem by, I'm just going to keep going. From a poem by William Makepeace Thackeray, and he wrote the book Vanity Fair. And the poem starts like this. There lived a sage in days of yore, and he a handsome pigtail wore, and wondered much and sorrowed more because it hung behind him. And he tries everything he can do to change the position of his pigtail, spinning round and round and round. And of course he can't, because we're human. And that is not going to change. Our humanity is not going to change. And that, to me, is what is really exciting about the future. It's not going to be so much about what we can make technology do, but what we'll use that technology to do to release those balls of light from within us and recognize them in each other. So as long as we keep the focus on that, on our humanity, on what makes us quintessentially human, I, for one, am really excited about Web 4.0 and the future. Thank you.